Hour for it, got dressed up. I did. First thing was 6 weeks.
Are you in the back right now, or are they going to
What? Thanks. I know I messed up. Should be I think it's whatever the first part of the time. I don't think it's actually I'll be late to that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did freshman year. Like, it was a big life. I don't know how I did that, but I think it was because I had to. I was like, oh well.
Wait, you're going to the next time? Yeah. No, me too. And I also talked to other people. I went through and I did different words and phrases to make sure that it was really
Wow!
Yeah, here. Thanks, Bill. All right.
All right. I now call this meeting of the Kansas State University Student Senate to order. If you could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. We will now proceed to roll call.
Adams. Oh, that's loud. Sorry. Adams. Albers. Armstrong. Belk. Bergston. Bolar. Bothwell.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Carpenter.
Here.
Cole.
Here.
Colgleiser. Cruz.
Here.
Davis. De Moranville.
Here.
Dunfield.
Here.
Gammon.
Here.
Grover.
Here.
Hammond. Harp.
Here.
Heatherman.
Here.
Hildreth.
Here.
Hopfinger.
Here.
Huffman.
Here.
Karmali.
Here by proxy.
Kidd.
Here.
King.
Here.
Kodira. Kulkarni.
Here.
Leverett.
Here.
Mari.
Here.
Martin. Morgan.
Here.
Neatery.
Here.
Orth.
Here.
Orzakowski.
Here.
Pelton.
Here.
Penny.
Here.
Porter.
Here.
Riffle.
Here.
Roman.
Here.
Smith. Spellman.
Here.
Spencer.
Here.
Sullivan.
Here.
Thomas.
Here.
Chumlin.
Here.
Tuttle.
Here.
Valdez.
Here.
Wessel.
Here.
Whitmer.
Yeah, here.
And Yogunandan.
Yes.
Okay, with that, we will move into first open period. Oh, how many senators were present for roll call?
47.
Awesome. Thank you, Nathan. We will move into first open period. Our first open period.
I didn't get my roll call. What up, Javin? I'm here. I didn't.
Javin's here. 48 senators present for roll call. 49 senators present for roll call. So our first open period speaker will be Rafael Garcia, the co-editor-in-chief of the Collegian.
Good evening, guys. I promise I'll be brief and not take up an hour and a half of your time this time. But I'm Rafael Garcia, editor-in-chief of the Collegian, and I just want to come and talk to you guys about how SGA and the Collegian might work to tell the story of K-State. So a brief description of the Collegian. I know you guys know it's a student newspaper, but I think that at the Collegian, especially this year, we've really embraced the philosophy that it is a student newspaper, and that's two different things. It means that it's a newspaper run by students, and it's also a newspaper that tells stories for students to entertain, educate, and inform. Now, as a newspaper by students, I think there's an aspect of it that makes us come to make mistakes sometimes, but those mistakes are never malintentioned. I think most of the time they're just opportunities for us to learn as student journalists, and yeah, something that I want to make sure you guys know is that we're here as students just as you guys. We're trying to use the newspaper as an experience for us to learn. So looking into next year, I think that we could really work together by some of you as representatives of the student community coming to us with story ideas, or if you know something cool or some group that's doing amazing things here at K-State, you guys can come to us and we'll be sure to look for those stories. Sometimes we're a bit tight on resources or just staffers, but we try to get to all of those stories. We try to tell all the great things that are happening here at K-State. So by looking for those, I think that we can really show some of the positive aspects of K-State. Going into next year, I think that we'll focus a little bit on that, finding the good here at this university. I know a lot of times it seems like even we as a newspaper, sometimes those negative headlines or stories about negative events get more attention here. But I think that if we can really focus on the good things or finding those good things and highlighting those, I think we can really create a better sense of community here at K-State. The other aspect of that is that I think sometimes the student community or even people that we write about get the perception that we're here to criticize K-State or we're here to criticize SGA. I don't think that's really the case. We're here to, I think that our role as a student newspaper, sometimes we have to be critical of the things that are happening here, and that's just our job. But I think that even here within Senate, you guys have to be critical of the open to debate. You really have to embrace the criticism. You have to look for ways to get past that criticism or heal that divide to come to better solutions, especially as student leaders here. So that would be my advice going into next year, and just to not let any criticism of any of your positions or of any of your actions, don't take any of that personally. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas or ideas on how we could collaborate better between the newspaper and SGA through all the different branches, we'd definitely be open to those. We have the reporter here that's here every night. I'm not sure if it'll be Kaylee back there next semester as well, but we'll have somebody here. And if not, our offices are just across the street, Kedzie 116. I'll also be editor-in-chief next semester, so if you guys have any concerns, any questions, or any ideas, I really encourage you guys to come to me. So I'll stand for questions now if you guys have any questions about how we operate or what we do or any ideas you might have.
Questions for Editor-in-Chief Garcia? All right, seeing none. Thank you for coming tonight, Rob. Are there any other speakers for first open period? Seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. The minutes were distributed this past week. Is there a motion to approve? Senator Valdez.
Move away from the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes. Are there any objections? If not, minutes are approved. Now we'll move into announcements for the week. They're sent out with the agenda this week. First, there will be the K-State Gender Collective will be hosting a transgender education workshop on April 28th, this Saturday, from 1 to 5 p.m. in the Big 12 room. Next on the agenda, there will be College Caucus leader elections tonight. Attached with that are the duties of the College Caucus, as well as the duties of the College Caucus leaders. A little bit about how the election works. You all during caucus time will get together. Will nominate individuals within your college that you would like to see serve as your leaders, and then you will vote within your caucuses tonight. So, third, we will be doing a standing committee rotation for all of our student senators tonight to get a feel of what standing committees will look like for next term. Each of you will be numbered and given a chair, and then there will be a rotation during committee time today. Proxies for this evening, Thomas for Bowen, Whitmer for Carmali, and Bergston for Wilhelm. And the quote of the week this week, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Jack Welsh. We will now move into approval of appointments. To begin with, I would love for any senators who have not yet been sworn in to please come to the front. All right, if there are none, I will now seek a motion for Resolution 2. Senator Kidd?
I move we actually consider Resolution 6
Second.
first. Can I do that?
Yeah, it's been moved and seconded that we consider Resolution 6. Will the author please come forward?
Hello, everyone. Is that mic on? No. Sorry, I was just scared. You're right. It was not on. Thanks.
So this is.
I move to.
Senator Cole.
Okay, I move to allow the author to summarize. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the author be allowed to summarize. Peter, you may summarize.
All right. This is a resolution to appoint the new judicial branch. That's about it. It fills the position of Deputy Attorney General, Chancellor of the Student Tribunal, Chair of the Student Review Board, Chair of Parking, and about 15 student justices to fill those individual boards. And I'm just going to read the whereas clauses real quick. Whereas it is necessary to approve the Deputy Attorney General, Chancellor of the Student Tribunal, Justice of the Student Tribunal, Justice of the Student Review Board, and Justice of the Parking Appeals Committee. Whereas these positions were sufficiently advertised. Whereas applications were made available to all students who showed interest in Kansas State University Student Governing Association. Whereas there was 32 applicants for these 20 positions. Whereas the following individuals have been selected by the student body president in consultation with the Attorney General to serve on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving Kansas State University student body throughout the next term. And whereas this appointment is subject to the approval of Student Senate.
All right, with that, any questions for Peter Moyer? Senator Neadery.
Okay, could you read all the names for Haley, please?
Sure. Serving as the Deputy Attorney General, Emily Dedivo. Serving as Chancellor of the Student Tribunal, Elizabeth Wiesner. Serving as Chair of the Student Review Board, Caitlin Struckel. Serving as Chair of the Parking Citations Appeals Board, Aaron Stewart. Serving as a Justice on the Student Tribunal, Madeline Ames, Adam Bendrick, Alex Hornung, Hannah Markle, Parker Montgomery, Frederick Schuler. Serving on the Student Review Board, Ashton Hess, Jackie Kamiyama, Cynthia Karanja, Nicholas Nordstrom, Vibhav Vidadyar, Grace Wheeler, and serving on Parking Citations Appeals Board, Nicholas Kalesh, Haley McKee, Adam Sale, Aaron Stewart, and Rachel Walker.
Further questions for Peter Moyer? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve this resolution unanimously? Senator Bothwell.
I move that we approve this resolution unanimously.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution unanimously. If there are no objections, this resolution is approved unanimously. All right, is there a motion for Resolution 2? Senator Bill? Oh, wait, we swear in judicial?
No. You don't swear in.
Senator Heatherman.
I move we consider resolution 2.
It's been moved and seconded that we consider Resolution 2. Will the author please come forward?
Why have we talked about this?
Resolution 18-1902, approval of the student body president's cabinet by Jordan Keel, Lacey Pitts, and Ryan Kelly. Whereas the Constitution and bylaws of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association, KSU-SGA, specify the executive branch of KSU-SGA includes the following positions as members of the student body president's cabinet: Public Relations Director, Technology and Aviation Sliner Relations Director, International Affairs Director, Multicultural Affairs Director, State Relations Director, Local Relations Director, Technology Director, Academic Affairs Director, and Graduate Student Council Student Governing Association, GSC-SGA Liaison. Whereas included within the President's Cabinet in the 2018-2019 term are an Athletics Liaison, Campus Climate and Safety Director, Health and Wellness Director, Organization and ARH Outreach Director, Student Support Director, Sustainability Director, and Transfer Student Affairs. Can we add Director at the end of that? Whereas applications and interviews were made available to all students who showed interest in the KSU-SGA. Whereas there are 34 applicants for these 16 positions, and whereas these individuals are chosen on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving the students of Kansas State University student body throughout the next term. Be it resolved that, Section 1, the following individuals be approved for their respective offices for the 2018-2019 term: Academic Affairs Director, Cecilia Pick Gomez; Athletics Liaison, Colby Works; Campus Climate and Safety Director, Mariana Cruz; Graduate Student Council Student Governing Association, GSC-SGA Liaison, Elisa Piser; Health and Wellness Director, Lane Lundeen; Co-International Affairs Directors, Narmada Mina Bashini, Mona Kumar, and Sidonia McKenzie; Local Relations Director, Corbin Silacek; Multicultural Affairs Director, Mackenzie McIntosh; Organization and ARH Outreach Director, Sean Marshall; Public Relations Director, Meredith Clark; State Relations Director, Patrick Hopfinger; Student Support Director, Ian Boyd; Sustainability Director, Philip Underwood; Technology Director, Victor Valdez; Transfer Student Affairs Director, Caleb Gertson. Sorry, that was a lot.
Any questions for Student Body President Keel? All right, seeing none, is there a motion on this resolution? Senator Bothwell.
I move that we approve this resolution unanimously.
Second.
Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, this resolution passes unanimously. If you all could please come to the front and be sworn in, that'd be great.
Yay, you got it.
Okay, everyone can raise their right hand. And you're going to say, I will, once I finish this thing. So, I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of cabinet and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
If you guys want to go through name, major, hometown, and your favorite smell, welcome to SG.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Sidonia McKenzie. I'm a grad student in the Department of Economics. Hometown is Kingston, Jamaica. I came here as an international student in 2016, and I'm loving KC so far. So I hope to make this SG experience better.
I'm Cecilia Jake, and I'm an elementary education major, and I'm from Paraguay.
What's your favorite smell, Cecilia?
Oh, I love mandarins.
I'm Elisa Peixer. I'm a graduate student in the Department of Psychological Sciences. My hometown is Zagreb, Croatia, and my favorite smell is basil.
I'm PJ Hopfinger. I'm studying political science. I'm from Fairway, Kansas. And my favorite smell is Oklahoma Joe's.
Hey guys, I'm Mariana. Oh, sorry. I'm Mariana Cruz. I'm a freshman studying civil engineering, and my favorite smell is coffee.
Hi guys, my name is Meredith Clark. I'm a junior in nutritional sciences pre-dental. I'm from Overland Park, Kansas, and my favorite smell is the Wonder Bread Factory right by my house.
I'm Narmada Mohan Kumar, and everyone call me Meenu because my name is so hard to pronounce. So I'm a PhD student in Department of Statistics. I came here in 2015, and I'm so excited to be one of their co-international affairs director. And my favorite smell is, I think, coffee, just like her.
Hello, I'm Ian Boyd. I'm a sophomore from Lake Riviera, Kansas. I'm studying political science. Favorite smell, PJ already stole it, but Kansas City barbecue sauce. I love that smell.
Hi, I'm Lane Lundeen. I'm a freshman from Fowler, Kansas. I'm studying biology and pre-pharmacy, and my favorite smell is probably lemons.
Hello, I'm Caleb. I'm a senior studying political science. I'm from Hiawatha, Kansas, and my favorite smell is like fresh chocolate chip cookies right out of the oven.
Hi again. My name is Victor Valdez. I'm a junior studying economics with a minor in computer science. And my favorite smell is, I'm from Dodge City, Kansas. My favorite smell, I think I said like a computer last time. This time it's going to be like a computer store because it's just full of computers and they're all new. So.
I'm Sean Marshall. I'm a political science major from Wiesbaden, Germany, and my favorite smell is lilac.
Hey guys, my name is Colby Works. I'm a sophomore studying kinesiology from Iola, Kansas, and my favorite smell is like the smell like in the mountains like right after it rains, kind of like the evergreen smell. Okay, most of you guys know.
Hello everyone, my name is Mackenzie McIntosh. I'm a junior in animal sciences. I'm from Caney, Kansas, and my favorite smell is probably citrus and coconuts.
And I'm Corbin Sedlacek. I'm a sophomore majoring in accounting with a minor in lead studies from Manhattan, Kansas. Go Townies. And my favorite smell, it kind of varies like on day to day, but I'll say today, well, for the fact that Kansas doesn't have beaches, I go with like the smell of a lake. But not like goose like feces, just like not like dead fish, not like that, just like a fresh breeze and like the water.
All right, moving on with the agenda. I will now seek a motion for Resolution 4. Senator Carpenter.
I move that we consider Resolution 4. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we consider Resolution 4. Will the author please come forward?
Resolution 18-1904, approval of the Chief of Staff by Jordan Keel, Lacey Pitts, Ian Boyd, Ollie Carmali, Jansen Penny, Samantha Thomas, and Ryan Kelly. Whereas the position of Chief of Staff was sufficiently advertised via an application made available to all students who showed interest in KSU SGA. Whereas there were 5 applicants for this position, and whereas the individual was chosen on the basis of leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving the students of Kansas State University throughout the term. Be it resolved that Section 1, Miranda Moore be approved as Chief of Staff.
All right, are there any questions for Student Body President Keel? Seeing none, first right to debate.
Yep, so I addressed this last week, but I just want to reiterate what the job of Chief of Staff is. Miranda's job will be to coordinate the activities of Cabinet. What that really means, Cabinet is very broad in all of the projects and the scope that they have across the university. But Cabinet members, the ones that just got approved and sworn into Senate, those are the individuals that are out representing and advocating for students, whether that be through meetings or changes to university policy, ADA-bus meetings about tracking or things like that. They're the ones really out there talking about and for students. Miranda Moore is the person that's putting them in the right rooms and with the right people. She's the person coordinating those activities so that they're able to do the job and get the job done. She's there to answer their questions and really make sure that they're able to do everything they need to do. Her ability to do her job, which is something I think she will do tremendously well at, is what allows Cabinet to do their job.
Questions for Student Body President Keel? Seeing none, debates in the negative. Senator Spellman.
Hi everybody. I'm a little sick, so you'll have to put up with me for a little bit. But I did want to talk about why I don't think we should approve Miranda Moore for Chief of Staff. Primarily, this is just kind of looking at kind of like the history of SGA in general. A lot of problems that people have with SGA is that it's primarily white and it was primarily Greek. And we saw that especially last year. Now, of course, we have a lot more diversity, regardless of race, sexual orientation, if you're in Greek life or not. But now especially, I think this is the chance that SGA has, and we need to seize the opportunity to push forward and continue moving forward and encouraging and promoting diversity in the organization. So just kind of, I don't want to say that Miranda Moore is qualified. I don't want to kind of have that interpreted the wrong way. She is, of course, she has qualifications. She is a good choice for the job, but I don't think she's the best choice for the job. And when I say that SGA is white and Greek, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but moving forward, we have a whole lot of opportunities that we need to take, and moving forward, we need to continue to increase participation within the student body as a whole. So SGA now, of course, we have 2 strong female leaders. I mean, that's awesome. I'm happy. But that doesn't mean that Miranda Moore would be the best choice here. Of course, we do have a lot of senators that have stepped up and now are voicing their concerns within the student body, especially on concerns such as diversity. And we are gaining representation, but in this case, you shouldn't stop now. So the importance of representation, of course, we all know what happened last year. I mean, especially if you look even within the last semester. You had the vandalism with the car, you had the white nationalist posters, and you also had the KKK incident at the football game a few months ago. A lot of students, minority students in particular, do view a lot of ideas in SGA to represent their views. I primarily see that as safety, security, and unity. And I think moving forward that it's very crucial that this body takes that into consideration and especially considers that with the approval of Miranda Moore. One of those student concerns, and this is including my own concern, is that SGA has kind of become a major friends club. So recently, I believe it was sometime last week, K-State Collegian had posted an article saying that President Keel had postponed the confirmation of Moore for Chief of Staff, and someone had quoted that tweet and said that K-State SGA is basically a friends club. Anyone to deny that, of course, is I have delusional or disingenuous. And moving forward, I think we need to really consider that when we do either approve or not approve Moore for Chief of Staff. And I know that Seth isn't the only person that thinks this. There's a lot of other students on K-State that also agree that SGA has this problem and that student concerns are not being heard in this body. We're student leaders. We were elected to represent the students from our colleges. And those constituent voices are especially something that we need to focus on and consider, whether it's something that we're voting on today, tomorrow, or next week technically, or even like next year. So the fear of this Friends Club in particular, it's important to have a chief of staff that the president and vice president can trust.
Is there a motion to extend the speaker's time? Senator Cole.
I move to extend the speaker's time by 5 minutes. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we extend the speaker's time by 5 minutes. Are there any objections? If not, you have 5 minutes.
I won't be too much longer. But kind of just looking at the fear of approving her for chief of staff, I think she really does fit too closely into this Friends Club. And kind of like what I was saying earlier, we're here to represent the students of our colleges. And if those fears have already been voiced now, I think moving forward that they're going to be even louder. And I think that's something that we need to consider with today's vote. And like I said earlier, she is qualified, but in this case, I don't think she's the best choice. And we need a candidate that represents all of SGA, taking all of their views, all of their concerns, and pushing forward to that and continue to help that with K-State Cabinet, K-State SGA as a whole. So like I said earlier, I think we do need to represent someone that, or elect someone that does represent K-State students. And I don't think Miranda Moore is the best choice for that. And I encourage you to all vote no.
With that, are there any questions for Senator Spellman? Senator Valdez.
Not installing Miranda Moore today, how would that affect how cabinet is going to run?
Yeah,
I think that might be a hypothetical question. If you could rephrase it.
How will this interfere with the functioning of the president's cabinet?
Okay, that is a genuine concern. Of course, we needed to push back the interviews and have another person selected for this position. I think moving forward, if we find the right person for the job, I don't think that's going to impact SGA significantly. I think it's more important to have a person that represents the K-State student body and moving forward considers their views and concerns for the student government.
Further questions? Student Body President Keel.
Do you know of an individual that does fit the description you've been describing that didn't previously apply for the chief of staff position that would apply if the applications had been extended or reopened?
Yeah, truthfully, I don't have a name off the top of my head, but I am more than happy to look into other people, and I am more than happy to work with you in finding someone that would fit those qualities.
Attorney General Hanneman.
Do you think that the process to select the chief of staff was adequately followed?
Yes, but that doesn't mean that the candidate that we are voting on tonight is necessarily the best fit for K-State students.
Follow-up.
Granted.
Can you specifically tell me as to why she is not qualified for this position? Because
She is qualified, and that's what I didn't want to, I guess, have be misinterpreted. She does have the qualifications, but I think for the concerns that, the platforms that I ran on, primarily focusing on diversity, inclusion, and making sure that students feel welcome at K-State and feel like their voices are being heard in the student government. Here, I think that's especially important moving forward, that that candidate does represent those views. And I don't think that in this case, this person is the best choice.
Any more questions for Senator Spellman? Director Abunaban?
So you keep referring back to the right person for this position. Can you explain the right person that represents like K-State's views, the student body's views,
Yeah.
in a single person?
I think personally we need to have an individual who has specifically worked with diversity and representation, whether it's in SGA and has participated in the past, or looking at other student groups, kind of like Project Inclusion, for example. Regardless of whether it's in this student government or not, I think having that experience and taking those lessons into the job, I think that's going to be a major characteristic that this person needs to have.
Further questions? Seeing none, I will now look for debate in the positive. Senator Sullivan.
Hey guys. All right. A man who I miss dearly, in some of his closing remarks as the 44th President of the United States, said, "If something needs fixing, then lace up your shoes and do some organizing. Show up, dive in, stay at it." That being said, I agree with Senator Spellman. We need diversity in SGA, and yes, we need diverse ideas. I believe a president should want to appoint someone who would challenge them to think differently, to better represent the student body as a whole. That's my issue with the appointment of Miranda, and I know I'm not the only one. That being now voiced, I put my support behind Miranda, because as a senator, I swore to have the best interest of SGA in mind, and thus the best interest of the student body. This legislative body can't go the whole summer without a chief of staff, and then this coming fall go through the whole election process again, so the applications, the interviews, selection, presentation, debate, and finally the vote, with potentially less qualified individuals. That, in the long run, will harm us. Moving forward, I believe it's SGA's responsibility to have a united front between all three branches. This begins with accountability of each and every member. I would challenge the leadership in the executive branch to come forward with their appointments right away rather than waiting, because they too know that this is not a representative pick. We should have the opportunity to voice our opinion and not feel forced into an appointment for fear of progress coming to a halt over the summer at the detriment of our constituents. I implore you all to remember what SGA is about. The student body chose us to represent them. This is about us serving the students at K-State. None of this is about our own personal gain. So with the best interest of the student body in mind, that is where I place my vote.
Questions for Senator Sullivan? Sorry. Seeing none, I will now look for debates in the negative. Senator Cole.
All right. So I just wanted to start off saying, Jordan did acknowledge that there was issues with her pick for chief of staff, and those issues are valid still. Miranda has done amazing work within SGA, no doubt. She should very much be involved in Student Governing Association here at K-State. It's not her concern. Our concerns are not with her ability to lead. Our concerns are with that SGA in the past has previously been an echo chamber, and that there's lack of representation with this pick. Moving on to my first point, SGA has previously been an echo chamber. From my own observations, members previously have simply just agreed with one another to simply get out of meetings and send it quicker, which is unfortunate because we come together to make K-State better, and we shouldn't be doing that. We should be challenging one another and voicing our concerns. By allowing this to continue, it's not allowing critical points of view to surface, which would be detrimental to the members of the student body, as we have seen previously. And it's letting down the K-State family by doing this. Few members of Student Governing Association are actively participating by coming up here and participating in what they believe in, as well as what the student body needs to make better change. A chief of staff that will challenge Jordan and Lacey to think critically will help us all here at K-State. Moving on to my second point, Jordan and Lacey deserve to have someone to challenge their thoughts in as prominent student leaders here on campus. SGA in the past has struggled to accurately represent and provide for members of K-State. Students have voiced these concerns several times, and I feel like it would be remiss to ignore those concerns. Students do not feel comfortable coming to SGA meetings because outside of a few brave voices because of this. And failure to represent the student body and disregard these concerns today does not help the K-State family. Students have also voiced their concerns about Miranda being appointed to chief of staff. This is not because of her qualifications, but is because they feel that SGA is a best friends club, as Senator Spellman brought up previously. This has also been within my own conversations, within my own circles, outside of what's on social media. I feel like that it is in our best interest to find someone that students feel comfortable with being chief of staff. People did not run for SGA Senate, in fact, because they felt that SGA was a bunch of best friends and a good old boys club, if you want to think of it that way, because they felt like they wouldn't accomplish much because of this. Miranda has done great things in the past, and there's nothing from stopping her to continue to get involved outside of being chief of staff. And I know that concerns about postponing this election or approval has been brought up. I feel that picking a better chief of staff will accurately benefit the K-State student body more if we did find that person instead of approving Miranda today. Miranda has done fantastic work. However, we believe that as members of SGA, we can accurately address the needs of the student body by choosing a more representative chief of staff. And searching for a better chief of staff is going to be hard work and it's going to be difficult, but it is 100% worth it. With this, I urge you to join us in voting against this approval.
Questions for Senator Cole? Senator Neatery.
Who is we representing in those last few statements?
I would say we as people who are voting against her today.
Okay. I just didn't want you to.
Yeah, no, that's like, I feel like there's a considerable amount of people here that do not feel comfortable with this approval. And so that's why I'm referring to as we.
Further questions? Senator Heatherman.
Do you believe that the average student at K-State who's uninvolved in SGA knows who the chief of staff is?
No one that's not involved on campus is not going to even know that SGA is a thing. People that are involved, however, like within Saga, for example, another organization that I'm a part of, do know about SGA, and they have voiced their concerns that picking people that feel like it's a part of the Best Friends Club have shut them out of SGA, and they don't feel comfortable running for Student Governing Association to make change because they feel like it's a Best Friends Club.
Senator Carpenter.
Is there an individual you have in mind that would meet the credentials of serving as chief of staff?
Yeah, I don't personally have a person in mind. However, like I said in my speech, it's 100% worth the hard work that it's going to take to find this person. I understand that's going to take a lot of outreach and a lot of work, but it's worth it for the student body.
Student Body President Keel.
Do you know the work that went into trying to get just five applicants to apply for SGA?
I saw stuff on social media, and I saw you coming before us in Senate. That's all I saw. So to answer that question, I don't know the full extent.
Follow up.
Based on, I guess, what you did see from outreach, what else would you like being done?
I would meet with student leaders on campus just to hear their concerns and figure out who they think would be a good chief of staff, just because that gets more thoughts and opinions out there.
Further questions for the speaker? Seeing none, we will now move into debate in the positive. Senator Thomas.
So I just wanted to talk because I ultimately decided to put my name on the bill. So I kind of wanted to stand up and talk about why I chose to do that ultimately. That was a really hard decision for me to make because I understand and echo the concerns that other senators have said and will continue to stand up here and say that SGA needs to be a more representative group, and that comes from the choice of chief of staff in the first place. That's something that throughout
the campaign season I was very vocal about, and just as a senator and the person I am, that's something that I want to stand for. But ultimately, we're trying to build and move forward, and we can only do that with the tools in our belt. And I spoke with Jordan, and I was the only senator, the only one, to reach out to her directly to talk about my concerns with that and what that meant to me and the students that I choose to represent. And this decision is not one that I would have made in the first place, but talking to her about the way that they went about advertising for this position and the lengths that they did. That kind of came up in the previous speaker's debate about what was actually done. There was a lot of social media, a lot of emailing. There was a lot of individual running to people and saying, hey, who do you think is a great position? Because I don't think this is the position that Jordan or Lacey want to be in to defend a choice like this, and I think they're very aware of what this looks like. But at the end of the day, Chief of Staff is a monster of a job, and there are not that many students who are willing to do it. And Miranda's an incredible person, capable of doing some incredible work, but she's also one of 5 students on this campus who threw their name into the fire and said they were willing to do something like this. So I feel like people will keep coming up here and talking about the one and the student that we want and the type of person that we want, and I feel the same way. But at the end of the day, if there isn't someone who's going to apply, what's going to change that by pushing the vote off into the fall? Who's magically going to show up and say that they're willing to do this and jump in an even more stressful time when they have to catch up in the fall versus 2 months of work they could be putting in now? So that's ultimately why I decided to put my name on the bill, and I'm putting my vote behind yes.
Questions for Senator Thomas? Seeing none, is there debate in the negative? Oh, I'm sorry, Senator Kidd.
Thank you. So Senator Thomas, you mentioned emails, and you mentioned talking in front of the student body or the SGA body about advertising for the position. But what else? Like, what was the full extent that went into advertising for the position of Chief of Staff? Well,
I can talk to what I know. I talked to Jordan about this a little bit, and I know that she went to all of the previous heads of each branch from last semester and asked them specifically for names of people, and she can kind of talk about that process.
Sorry, we talked about it at length, but I'll just kind of go through the gamut of everything. So an email was sent out to the entire student body listserv, and we also reached out to every student life director and asked for nominations. That is how we got one of our cabinet members. Actually, Dr. Bosco recommended her. She applied for cabinet, not Chief of Staff, but we're really excited to have her on board. We pushed on social media hard because, let's be honest, SGA has a lot of work to do when it comes to communication, and that's the medium that we use the most. So that was that. Every college received an email that then went out to students, either from their dean or in their newsletter. College of Business, unfortunately, sent theirs out a little bit late, but we also know that there were students that were reached out into individually. Like Sammy said, the SGA branch leaders from the past term were asked to reach out to individuals that they knew, asked to send out the application to anyone they could. And we also asked individuals to reach out. I personally don't agree with shoulder tapping of picking out individuals to apply for positions, because I think that's how we do cultivate an experience of best friends club, when you're knocking on your best friend's shoulder saying, hey, apply for this position. So we didn't necessarily, Lacey and I didn't do that with individuals, but we did try to reach out to members of SGA that could reach out to other people that they knew, other student groups, things like that. So yeah, Dan, Lacey.
Further questions for the speaker? All right, now seeing none, is there debate in the negative? Debate in the positive. Attorney General Hanneman.
All right, I'm gonna turn to my old favorite governing documents, because that's what I do as Attorney General. So, the student body president's cabinet shall consist of the following officers: the Chief of Staff, whose duties shall include coordinate the activities of cabinet, serve as advisor to cabinet members, conduct communication between cabinet members and the student body president, and between cabinet members and student senate, chair cabinet meetings, give director's reports for cabinet members unable to attend student senate meetings as necessary,
assist the student body president and vice president in appointing cabinet members, serve on the Faculty Senate Committee for Professional Staff Affairs, and coordinate transitions between incoming and outgoing cabinets. This position is literally one that is behind closed doors most of the entire year. The people who represent our student body are the ones that you all are. Like the people who are sitting in your chairs right now, you were selected to represent your student body. The chief of staff's job is literally to organize cabinet and serve as that communication between cabinet and student senate. Yes, it's a super big job, but it's one that people don't see, and it's behind closed doors. Furthermore, I'd like to point out that every single interview that Jordan and Lacey did for chief of staff had a vice president for student life present in those interviews. Dean Reed was present for every single one. And to not select someone today just based on visual diversity when she is the most qualified person and they interviewed all those 5 candidates and she scored the highest is doing a injustice to Miranda and an injustice to the student body cabinet this next year. I stand for questions.
Questions for the speaker on her debate? Seeing none, well, I will now look for debate in the negative. Debate in the positive. Senator Carpenter.
I refer my speaking rights to Victor Valdez.
Hey again, just got done talking. So I'm going to speak about why I think Miranda is one of the most qualified people and also does a good job representing the student body. From my time working with Miranda and from the experience I've had of other people telling me about the great work that she's done already being part of the cabinet. So I just want to get started by first saying that Miranda is the best person for the job, and there is no clear alternative, as you've heard from previous speakers. First, she has the right work ethic. She's really supportive of cabinet. I actually just got done having a meeting with her, and although I already had my transitional meeting with Anna McKittrick, who was the prior tech director, I felt really confident about just getting ready to start doing what I need to do to have my ideas and projects implemented. And Miranda offered to be really just there, and if I need any help, to be available, which I think is really important from Chief of Staff. I also know, personally, I was able to work indirectly with Miranda on TFSC when it was first getting started because I had a really good channel of dialogue with Dean Chakrabarty, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. And I actually saw him a couple days ago, and he was telling me how Miranda was really good at working with him and how Miranda was really good at representing the students in the College of Arts and Sciences, which, if you know, if you're a senator in the College of Arts and Sciences, is one of the most diverse, if not the most diverse college at K-State. This goes to show 2 things. First, Miranda can represent students who are different than her. That's not a question. And second, she does a really good job of working with administration, which Chief of Staff does a lot of. These 2 things really make her qualified to be Chief of Staff. And that gives me a lot of confidence in, if I was in your shoes, to vote yes alone on Miranda. Secondly, if we want to talk about diversity in the cabinet, we should be looking at the directors, not just the Chief of Staff, not just the president and vice president, because from my understanding, it's the directors that implement the projects that students want to see. And if you look at the makeup of cabinet, it's really diverse. It is really diverse. Me alone, I am a Hispanic from, I was actually born in Mexico, and I am an immigrant. Well, was an immigrant. I'm now like a resident. But you can see that we do have diversity in the cabinet, and that does represent the student body. Going off of that, sorry, got kind of sidetracked. Although Miranda isn't a person of color, we have to look at more than just color and those very general things that we always look at when we talk about diversity. Miranda comes from a small town. She's a female, which is over 50% of the university. those two things I think are really important if we start looking at K-State, because I think K-State, besides just color and besides sexual orientation and all those things, sorry, my mind's like all over the place right now, but you can see that Miranda does represent a significant portion of campus. I think it's important that for SGA to look at all of campus, not just the minorities, but also the people that don't get looked at very often, which is people from small towns. There's quite a big number of people from small towns at K-State, and I think it's really important that we look at just more than just minorities when we're looking at student representation. It's really clear that Miranda does a really good job of representing the students. So if I was in your shoes, I think Miranda, I'm very confident that Miranda would be the best choice for cabinet. There's quite a number of things that go on whenever, over the summer, when you're all gone. I'll be here, sadly. But there's quite a number of things that have to be going on. And to put the president's cabinet that much more steps back.
Is there a motion to extend the speaker's time? Senator Bothwell.
Move to extend the speaker's time by 2 minutes. Second.
It's been moved and second that we extend the speaker's time by 2 minutes. Are there any objections? You have 2 minutes.
And to put the president's cabinet back that much, whenever if we decide not to install Miranda, and when we do select a new chief of staff, they're going to have to travel leaps and bounds to get to just a point where they'll be effective in directing the president's cabinet. So I strongly urge you to vote yes to this resolution.
Questions for Senator Valdez on his debate? Seeing none, I will now look to debates in the negative. Debates in the positive. Director Boyd.
Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know, I was one of the 5 applicants for Chief of Staff this past year, and I can say for certain that the process was fair. The process was very well put together, and myself and the other candidates had ample opportunity to not only prepare, but have a fair interview that was very equitable in helping to demonstrate what sort of person we were and whether or not we were the right person for the job. That being said, the reason I put my name forth originally is I didn't know any of the other applicants. I didn't know what this next year was going to look like, and I thought that basically I understand what the concerns in the room are regarding Miranda's nomination. And some of that stemmed for why I originally applied. And when I learned that I wasn't chosen, of course, I was a little disappointed. I had put a lot of energy into this. I had put time into preparing. I had met with countless people. And then I had the opportunity to meet Miranda afterwards. And I can say without a doubt that all of my stresses going into then preparing to apply for the position of student support director were relieved. Miranda is someone I have complete confidence in and helping the cabinet work together to accomplish a lot this next year. We have 1 year. Some of us will be around for another year. Some of us will have only just this next year. That sounds like a lot of time, but realistically, it is not. That's not a lot of time to get all the things we want to accomplish done. We need every single second that we can take to work on that. And cabinet, I didn't realize this until recently. I was looking from the outside, and I didn't realize how big and how much collaboration it requires between the individual directors. And having had those conversations now, I realize how much we need someone who understands that thoroughly, understands what needs to happen, and is someone that every single one of us on cabinet can trust, and every single one of us on cabinet knows is going to be there to support us. And I have, without a doubt, I have complete confidence in Miranda as being the person who is going to help us succeed this next year. It's going to take a lot of work. We're going to accomplish a lot of good things, and we need someone like her to help guide us through that. I understand the frustrations in this room, but I believe it is time we move forward. We look to the next year and see what we can accomplish, and let's not delay that. Thank you very much. I stand for questions.
Questions for Director Boyd on his debate? Seeing none, I will now look for debate in the negative. Senator Bothwell.
I move previous question or close debate.
Previous question has been moved and seconded. This is a voice vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. In the opinion of the speaker, that's 2/3. We will now move into a vote. Senator Hildreth.
I move for a roll call vote on Resolution 1819-04.
It's been moved and seconded to go into a roll call vote.
If you're in favor. How many? 15. So if 15 people raise their hands.
Okay. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Yeah, there were 15. All right. We will proceed into a roll call vote.
Adams?
Yes.
Albers?
Pass.
Armstrong?
Pass.
Belk?
Yes.
Bergston?
Yes.
Bolar? Bothwell?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes, by proxy.
Brown?
Yes.
Carpenter?
Yes.
Cole?
No.
Colgleiser? Cruz?
Yes.
Davis? DeMoranville?
Yes.
Dunfield?
Yes.
Filbert? Gammon?
Yes.
Grover?
Yes.
Hammond?
Yes, by proxy.
Harp?
Yes.
Heatherman?
Yes.
Hildreth? Hopfinger? Jabin?
Yes.
Karmali? Kidd?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Kodira? Kulkarni?
Yes.
Leverett? Marr?
Yes.
Martin? Morgan?
Yes.
Neatery?
Yes.
Orth?
Yes.
Orzakowski?
Yes.
Pelton?
Yes.
Penny?
Yes.
Porter?
Yes.
Riffle?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Smith? Spellman?
No.
Spencer?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Tile?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Chumlin?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Voldez?
Yes.
Wessel?
Yes.
Wilhelm?
Yes, by proxy.
Whitmer?
Aye.
Yoganadun?
Yes.
Okay. So, Albers?
Yes.
Armstrong?
Yes.
Leverett?
Yes.
Was there any other passes I missed? The vote was 42-2.
So that resolution passes. So now we will move on to our swearing in Miranda.
of Chief of Staff, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
Well, everyone, my name is Miranda Moore. That has been established. I'm a junior in pre-law communication studies and political science. I'm from Pittsburgh, Kansas, which I would say is a medium-sized town, Victor. And my favorite smell is my grandma Virginia's pot roast cooking.
All right, with that, I will now entertain a motion to consider Resolution 3. Senator Bothwell.
I move we consider Resolution 3.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we consider Resolution 3. Will the author please come forward?
Resolution 18-1903, approval of the SGA Treasurer by Jordan Keel, Lacey Pitts, Ryan Kelly, Joshua Arnaldi, and Peter Moyer. Whereas it is necessary to appoint and ratify the SGA Treasurer. Whereas this position was adequately advertised. Whereas applications and interviews were made available to all students who showed interest in the Kansas State University Student Governing Association. Whereas there were 4 applicants for this position. And whereas the individual was chosen on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving the Kansas State University student body throughout the next term. Be it resolved that Section 1, Jordan Martin, be approved as the SGA Treasurer for the 2018-2019 term.
Any questions for Student Body President Keel? All right, seeing none, is there a motion on this resolution? Senator Cole.
I move to approve this resolution unanimously.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution unanimously. If there are no objections, it's approved unanimously. All right, moving on, I will now entertain a motion on Resolution 5. Senator Tuttle.
I move that we consider Resolution 5. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider Resolution 5. Will the author please come forward?
If I can find it. I got it. I found it. Took me a while. Okay. Bill 1819-05. That's not it. Okay. No, this isn't it. I'm looking for resolutions. Bear with me for a second, guys. Okay. That's a lot easier. All right. Resolution 1819-05. Approval of standing committee chairs, intern coordinators, student senate secretary, and parliamentarian by Ryan Kelly and Joshua Arnaldi. Whereas it is necessary to appoint and ratify the chairs of the Student Senate standing committees, the Student Senate Secretary, Student Senate Parliamentarian, and the intern coordinators. Whereas these positions were adequately advertised. Whereas applications and interviews were made available to all students who showed interest in the Kansas State University Student Governing Association. Whereas there were 17 applicants for these 10 positions. And whereas these individuals were chosen on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving the Kansas State University student body throughout the next term. Be it resolved that, Section 1, the following individuals be approved for their respective offices for the 2017-2018 term. Nils Bergston, On-Campus Allocations Committee Chair. Carson Chumland, Travel Allocations Committee Chair. Jansen Penny, Privilege Fee Committee Chair. Shelby Carpenter, Senate Operations Committee Chair. Haley Spellman, Government Relations Committee Chair. Vedant Kulkarni, Student Engagement Committee Chair. Nathan Bothwell, Intern Coordinator. Sadie Polson, Intern Coordinator. William Moore, Student Senate Parliamentarian. Nathan Anderson, Student Senate Secretary.
Are there any questions for Senator Hildreth? All right, seeing none, is there a motion on this resolution? Senator Neatery.
I move we approve this unanimously. Resolution unanimously.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution unanimously. If there are no objections, it is approved unanimously. If you guys can all come up front, we'll get you sworn in. All right, if you guys could raise your right hand, and after I say this statement, say I will. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of the Senate Executive Committee and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association. I will. Awesome. If you guys could just introduce yourselves, name, major, hometown, favorite smell, and also like what position you are.
Hi guys, my name is Shelby Carpenter. I'm a junior studying elementary education and political science. I am from Wichita, Kansas, and my position is Senate Operations Committee Chair. I'd have to say, like I said last time, my favorite smell is like right after the first snow of the year.
Hi everyone, my name is Vedant Kulkarni. I'm from Mumbai, India, and I'm the new Student Engagement Committee Chair. And I'll tell my second favorite smell this time. It's the smell of books in library.
Hi, I'm Carson Chumland. I'm a freshman in chemical engineering. I'm from Topeka, Kansas. My favorite smell is red velvet cupcakes, and I'm the travel allocations chair.
My name's Nathan Bothwell. I'm a freshman from Tonganoxie, Kansas. I'm one of the intern coordinators for next year. I'm studying political science pre-law, and my favorite smell is a freshly opened bottle of vanilla.
I'm William Moore. I'm from Rogers, Arkansas. I'm a sophomore in economics and I'm the student senate parliamentarian. My favorite smell would probably be the first day when the leaves start falling on trees in autumn.
My name is Nathan Anderson. I am from Shawnee, Kansas. I'm a junior studying economics, history, and pre-law. And my favorite smell would be vanilla, which is already taken, but that's okay. And I am the secretary.
My name is Haley Spellman. I'm from Emporia, Kansas. I'm a junior in communication studies and political science. I am the governmental relations chair, and my favorite smell is coffee.
Hi guys, my name is Sadie Polson. I guess I'm a sophomore studying marketing from Frankfort, Kansas, and I'm the other intern coordinator. And my favorite smell is when you're in the middle of nowhere, right after it rains, and the grass is super green. It's beautiful.
Hi, my name is Nils Bergstein. I'll be serving as the on-campus allocations committee chair. I'm a junior from Holton, Kansas. I'm studying agribusiness here, and my favorite smell would be a freshly popped wine bottle.
My name is Jansen Penny. I'm serving as the privileged fee chair this year. I am a sophomore in industrial engineering from Burlington, Colorado. And last time I said my favorite smell was silage, so this time I'll go with like high moisture corn.
All right, we will now move on to committee reports. Senator Kidd.
I move we suspend the rules and move right into final action. And then go back to the normal order of the agenda.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules and move straight into final action. Are there any objections? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, all opposed, same sign. Okay, it's in the opinion of the speaker that is 2/3, so we will go ahead and move straight into final action. Yeah. Will the author of Bill 18-1901 please come forward?
Hey, Ryan. No changes have been made. All changes have been made. I don't know. No changes have been made.
Okay. Are there any corrections? Senator Bothwell.
I move that we bulk roll call vote bills 1, 2, 3, 4,
And 5.
It's been moved in second that we hold bills 1 through 5 for bulk roll call. Are there any objections? Okay, no. Senator Albers.
I move that the author be allowed to summarize for the next 5 bills. Second.
They've already been read. It's just final action. Awesome. You may summarize.
Thanks, friends. So yeah, it's essentially what I talked about last week. We are just trying to make sure that our documents represent what we actually do as the judicial branch. So.
Any questions for Attorney General Hanneman? All right, seeing none, we will now move on to Bill 2. Have any corrections been made?
Right.
Oh, is there any debate in the negative on Bill 1?
Point of clarification, is there a led or senator on any of these bills? I guess Carl is, never mind.
Carl Wilhelm as a senator. All right, seeing no negative debate, we will move on to Bill 2. Will the author please come forward? Have any corrections been made? Awesome. First right to debate.
It's the same thing. We're making sure our Constitution and bylaws represent what we do. So, yeah.
All right, any questions for Attorney General Hanneman on her debate? Seeing none, is there any debate in the negative? Any debate at all? All right, with that, we'll move on to Bill 3.
Same thing.
All right, any questions? Is there any debate in the negative? If not, we'll move on to Bill 4.
This one is actually changes to the Attorney General position, but it literally is just making it so that the Attorney General can appoint the Deputy Attorney General with the approval of Student Senate, and then we didn't have anywhere in our bylaws about Student Review Board Chair or Chancellor, so that also was put in there with the approval of Student Senate.
Are there any questions for Attorney General Hanneman on her debate? Seeing none, is there any debate in the negative? If not, we will proceed to Bill 5.
Peter.
Will the author please come forward?
It's parking again. So these are changes to the Parking Citations Appeals Board. It removes the third level appeal since that was excessive, involved the Attorney General who doesn't have expertise with parking. It cleaned up language in parking as recommended by General Counsel, and it removed the third level formal hearing process entirely, as that hadn't been done in over 4 years. That's my summary.
Are there any questions for Peter Moyer on his debate? If not, I will look for debate in the negative. Okay, seeing none, we will proceed to a bulk roll call vote of bills 1 through 5.
Adams.
Yes to all.
Albers.
Yes to all.
Armstrong.
Yes.
Belk.
Yes to all.
Bergs. Oh, nope. Bolar. Oh, Bergston. My apologies. I took the cabinet off. Bergston.
Yes to all.
Bolar. Bothwell.
Yes to all.
Bowen.
Yes to all by proxy.
Brown.
Yes to all.
Carpenter.
Yes to all.
Cole.
Yes to all.
Colgleiser. Davis. DeMoranville.
Yes to all.
Dunfield.
Yes to all.
Filbert. Gammon.
Yes to all.
Grover.
Yes to all.
Hammond.
Yes to all by proxy.
Harp.
Yes to all.
Heatherman.
Yes to all.
Hildreth.
Yes to all.
Javin,
Yes to all.
Karmali,
Yes to all by proxy.
Kidd, King,
Yes to all.
Kodira, Kulkarni,
Yes to all.
Leverett,
Yes to all.
Mar,
Yes to all.
Martin, Morgan,
Yes to all.
Neatery,
Yes to all.
Orth,
Yes to all.
Orzakowski,
Yes to all.
Pelton,
Yes to all.
Penny,
Yes to all.
Porter,
Yes to all.
Riffle,
Yes to all.
Roman,
Yes to all.
Smith, Spellman,
Yes to all.
Spencer,
Yes to all.
Sullivan,
Yes to all.
Tile,
Yes to all.
Thomas,
Yes to all.
Chumlin,
Yes to all.
Tuttle,
Yes to all.
Wessel,
Yes to all.
Wilhelm,
Yes to all by proxy.
Whitmer,
Yes to all.
Yoganandan.
Yes to all.
That is 43-0.
All right, now we will go back to where we were in the agenda and move to, thank you all for coming. We will now move to committee reports. If all of our 6 standing committee chairs could please, come to the front. All right, so Secretary Anderson will tell us which group we're in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and whichever number you guys are, please raise your hand when he calls that group number.
So number 1 is Vinant Kulkarni, and that will be Adams, Albers, Armstrong, Belk, Bergston, Bolar, Bothwell, Bowen, Brown, Carpenter, and Cole. Number 2 is Governmental Relations, Haley Spellman. And that will be Cole Gleiser, Davis, DeMoranville, Dunfield, Filbert, Gammon, and Grover. Number 3 will be Bergston, and that will be Hammond, Harp, Heatherman, Hildreth, Javin, Karmali, Kidd, and King. Number 4, Carson Chumland, will be Javin, Kodira, Kulkarni, Leverett, Mar, Martin, Morgan, Neatery, Orth, and Orzakowski. Number 5, Shelby Carpenter, will be Pelton, Penny, Porter, Riffle, Roman, Smith, and Spellman. And the last group will be Jansen, Penny. That'll be Spencer, Sullivan, Tile, Thomas, Chumlin, Tuttle, Wessel, Wilhelm, Whitmer, and Yoganandan.
All right, so if each of you committee chairs could please tell us where you're going. And then once your number is called and your chair leaves the room, please grab a handout at the back of the room in the viewing area that have a description of the committee lists.
Okay, so Group 1, we will be meeting in Center for Student Involvement in one of the conference room. I don't remember the number, I'm sorry.
Okay, so group number 2, we're gonna go ahead and go to the fireplace in front of JP's.
Group number 3, we can meet at Radina's or like somewhere out there in the tables and stuff. So.
Group 6 will be going to the other side of the SGA conference room.
Okay, all the 4s, we are gonna go to the CSI like lobby area. So just follow me and we'll figure it out.
And group 5, you have it really easy. We're just going to stay right here.
Yeah, do we have any kind of exit
a month after they're completing the kind of data, the kind of software that we're going for, I'm very certain it says, hey, maybe no, or very scary. So, how are you guys doing? Good. Alright, well, like I said earlier, my name is Shana Carpenter. I am the new chair. I don't know if any of you guys will go for that recap, or any of you grab that. Probably, I'm gonna go grab
I'll go try.
We were just yeah, like advisors. So you speak with your advisor. Like they've met with their advisor. They just. So is it something? Does their advisor need to? Okay, I just see on there. Is that what it is? Well, not a whole, but like a flag that someone like since that advisor. Because I thought we were using cases of shit. Notify someone that would get into that situation. Like the advisors aren't saying it's not your advisor. I don't know
So like, here's the other
kind of like doing something in front of spelling. It's like not as if there's one that was just but not really documented. It's a what's the standard for
I just feel like it's more like no one's understanding.
So why did you get Is this like point? Is this like a allow statistic where? Yeah. I don't know. It's for schools.
And then how many?
So we need to figure out what being in contact with those members of executive committee as well as general education, making sure that we're all on the same page and aware of the process. For example, something I wanted to kind of that's a weird workshop. That was really and what legislation so we actually teach the person. I know it's a lot of information. It got so much showing this data. Oh, I know.
Purple colors there.
So these are the
It's
same
like
ones.
first gen, 25% first gen.
What's this?
So it's disproportionately affecting first gen.
Oh, absolutely.
Way,
That's not
way.
true. Was that?
Yeah.
This is your job.
So seniors. But freshmen.
Way more.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I understand that. 24% of that.
Oh, yeah.
3,000.
I did. Correct. And at this point, we would actually expect.
I think it's yeah.
So the other thing
I think like 4 showed up to the one I went to. Oh, hey, also, was Jordan?
But then GPA is the other one.
you're high achieving. And they, well, yeah, like there's more applicants in regards to school.
So we are hosting a big tall conference.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be like their point person that's leading it.
Always up.
Building, but we do that once I stay there.
So over the summer,
It's actually only Thursday night. Well, we currently have Monday, Tuesday. This is where I get a lot.
like tonight.
I have Tuesday, Thursday.
Oh yeah. We have a.
For sure.
I have a.
What kind of well, he'll be an ex officio. Yeah, you used to teach it, but do you teach my classes still? I was in Monday night.
And we're gonna pull.
Yeah, I got to move to Tuesday, which is nice, because otherwise my day is. I'm there for like 9 years. Oh, that's awesome. That's nice. Yeah, it like didn't work with my schedule freshman year, and I knew that was like my freshman class I needed to take, so I just didn't.
It should have been up there.
Yeah, so I just now I do it on Tuesday instead.
We had one of the secretaries.
And then I have like
And like 2 and then left. So there's 3 files up there.
They're early hours, before class, after class. It's really crazy. It really is. My summer is like my break. I'm like, I have to work from 8 to 5. That's really nice. Compared to yeah, I'll be working for Rockville in Pennsylvania. And last summer I was in DC, so I'll be really close to speaking.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is actually go into the calendar. Alright, set deadlines. Doing the breaks.
Yes.
If you want to send me an email tonight, so I have it like on my.
I was like, ag lobbyist.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
We'll probably just,
so hopefully
get back to the fall, so I'll just send it over.
Yes.
Cool.
A lot of people are working on their jobs, like from their summer internship. Yeah. I don't know. Normally, our students have their jobs when it comes back. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how they have to take. Because my sister works full time at DC, and she was like kind of mentoring. Well, you know, Trey Kennedy. She's like his mentor. She talks to him all the time. He was like freaking out because our needed a job. She's like, that's just so normal. And I'm like, no. All of his friends had jobs. Very happy. Yeah, I know. Also writing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. I just have to talk.
And I didn't have, well, I read it. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's great for ag. Great time for ag. Whenever everyone else is doing that. And when everyone else is doing that. Yeah, it would be really nice. Yeah, I have a couple.
You guys want to rotate? I don't know. That's what I'm
Yes, exactly. If you see anyone looking for this room, please tell them where this is. I don't think a lot of people know the room. I'm writing birthday cards for potential students. What? Just another organization I'm in. The College of Ag writes birthday cards. Yeah, for potential students. I don't know where they get their names. I think like FFA convention, probably. It's free. Well, I would guess people get those tickets. I'm sure you can go there. That's true. Get all over town. Yeah, we write them birthday cards and Christmas cards, and then like if they come on campus, we have your stamp, your signature. Well, we have to handwrite them. Well, that's a great skill. That's what I don't know. Like that's like pasta. No, like I eat cake and I'm just like pasta, like pasta, making my own pasta and then making pasta.
Oh,
so, you know how? Yeah. I'd be so fired.
Do you want to
It's a weekend activity for sure.
Start at 9, maybe a little bit Saturday afternoon.
I've tried. Okay, I'm not sure that it's
Like you can look at sports like that. It's like communication between you three and not me. Like
since I've lived in my apartment, I burned a grilled cheese so bad you could like tap it on the table. It's really bad. Like yeah. It's not long process. I don't have one of those like pressure cookers. You don't have to. Yeah, can you use like a pot with a lid?
Well, I mean, if you have like a large pan, just like or sear it, and then you might sear it like 3 hours, and have that tender. Or get tenderizes. Yeah, actually, you're right. And you get a bottle of it's not bad.
Really informal. Don't worry. Hi, as you guys heard me mention before, my name is Shelby Carpenter. I am the Communication and Operations Committee Chair. Really looking forward to this year. I'm sure you guys have like all kind of the little blurb I have on there about some of the responsibilities of Senate operations as well as what I'm looking to get out of this year. First and foremost, some of the responsibilities include the SG elections. That won't be a concern in the fall. It's more so to bring domestic thing. I don't exactly how much the seems on kind of role involved in the process. Depending on who our election commissioner is, that's going to determine what plan of action is going to be for the election. Basic responsibility we have for Senate operations is oversee the legislative process. I don't know if you are writing legislation or formatting things like that, but that's something like editing, English, rules, grammar, things like that. Don't let that deter you from this committee. We'll have some sort of resource, whether that's a Google Doc, a handout, a piece of paper that we wrote stuff down on, passed out, I don't know. We'll have resources available to you guys so you're familiar with not only the legislative format process, but also the simple grammar, syntax rules to kind of help you make some of those corrections. Something else that will be a responsibility is filling vacancies. We will be filling vacancies right now that's 13 or 14, but yeah, there will be more with cabinet. And make sure we have the right amount of individuals in this room to vote on our district piece of legislation that comes through. We're going to fill those seats pretty soon. It won't be until the fall, obviously. We're not going to try to get that done because you guys see. But that is something else that we will be tackling by the committee. One thing I really hope to get out of this committee and really work on this year is accountability and also accountability. Last year, there was
What's that?
now there's a lot of mistakes, right? Things like that. And that's a bad way to make mistakes, but
I do tend to be pretty speaker.
so I would really like
So when I first walked in, I was like,
If they do any kind of good job, I'll fight for some things like
I think it.
I don't know.
I can't really help it. It's just.
And then but they're like very.
Definitely did a good job.
It's like teaching. So
And
she
so for what we did last year, I used it to work J-pop. You're like, what is that? It's like the people who look over like their salary and like so they look over like how much shit each position is getting and how much they're getting, and it's all one drama.
So being communicated, so if you're hey, they're aware of the rules.
But it's like the process.
Yeah, the guy at Financial Services, there's a guy over there that helps with But last time it went through, the committee brought
It's just like a
forward and it like Senate rejected
yeah,
it, so
conversation.
it had to go back.
Like there's the design,
Yeah,
but it's also just like.
And a lot of times it's the first time people even realize that they're transcript. So that's more just like
some classes on actually transcript. And it's that you have to appeal. Whatever. Yeah. So like. So basically like if it needs to be first.
And then you normally don't get
That's
away
fair.
with
But yeah, we can
No, not
go
really.
whatever you want to do.
Just like what happened, so then you just have
The worst thing ever.
Probably those two that like honestly since there's nothing over the summer. As far as just like you and I can talk about this.
I gotta have class with Layman next semester.
We're packing
I
this
should
today.
No. It just like hit me out of the thing. I was like, maybe not.
I assume you already have like some of the video done. That's one reason why it's good. I mean, I was all for the interns watching it so that they can listen like before they come out.
Yeah.
I think it's.
And then one of my veterans, it's just hard on your body.
Surgery.
Yeah. So is he giving out an email ring?
How we doing?
Yeah. See, that's what like when my mom was on chemo, like she just so sleepy all the time.
Well, and he takes on so much. Like our standard teaching goal is 4 classes with 3 to 4. Anything you do over that.
Yeah.
He does, I think, 8 and 7, which is
And sales team.
We can go like wander over there and like
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know who you were talking about. You said my name.
I expect to teach his normal.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say my name.
Well, because he teaches an Aggie class. Because he's an Aggie class.
No, I didn't know about the 15.
Yeah, he teaches like if we did agribusiness marketing.
Okay.
So it's like still it rattles like it becomes an ag skill. Yeah.
Well, and I just emailed him yesterday because he helped when we wanted to do this fundraiser, how to go into corporations. So I just emailed him yesterday, so if you need help anywhere.
Yeah. So I took a summer class with Fallon and he had to be gone for a week, so Layman subbed for someone that emailed. So that's how I like made it to and we were gonna do this whole project to like talk about boards and just someone and it just says FYI. I don't like it. Yeah. And so we were gonna just put it together, but then I was like, it's probably not my place to go to college this way.
You were in there when it was like those
Professional management.
It was better, but.
I think Jack's.
It was really bad. And I was like,
that would not surprise me.
And then I was in college, I
on
was
the
there,
base.
so I had to fake being a physician for
On the
another
block
year, so I was still paying for it. So that was also really hard.
Now, it's not in your class so much money. I would mess which is awful because like all the things that I have to
You were like 4 years without a gap.
Oh, when I was in your
So we
class,
probably don't even have.
so you were allowed to go and like talk to your, if you don't really and I got like 6.
I hated it when Jonathan would bang it on the table. I'm like,
it was crazy.
I never.
Not very crazy.
But it's kind of like, it's like a class, like, I don't have to. I mean, I just have like, I would use someone else's name, so.
Do they still have that 0 credit hour technology? It's not playing. Yeah,
there you go.
it's good. Like, maybe go.
Yeah,
Put the
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the college bag let me skip their like technology class instead of network. So they just, so what they did is they put JINBA in place of that, even Senate President Bureau credits are like, oh, we can't put that in place of that, but we'll just say JINBA. Yeah, I was like, great.
Got it all. Also, the legislative process, overseeing and editing legislation that comes in, making sure that legislation is coming into the right person,
What month were
going
you
out,
in?
and it's done to the right people. That was something we definitely started with.
It was the summer after my freshman year, and I think June or July.
Example, I'd like to work with Josh to have him give a little brief statement during his director's report. Hey, this is legislation we got in, and this is legislation that we'll be sending out. So it's not just the Senate office committee that's aware of that, but the entire SGA body. I think it's really important. Something else that Senate office is responsible for is impeachment or expulsion of senators and also filling vacancies when seats open up. For example, we've had all of our people who are sworn in cabinet, their seats will be open, and so it's going to be the responsibility of this committee to work with the right individuals to fill those spots because we need a certain amount of bodies in here to the quorum and I know it's kind of a lot of information that you write at once. Do you guys have any questions for me?
When do you guys meet? When do you guys think you're going to meet?
That's the thing. We are definitely meeting every week regardless of whether I'm there or not. I mentioned this with the last group. Accountability is something else that I would really like to
I've done so many steps, so many times.
for a certain branch, but SGA across the board. I mentioned
I'm gonna take probably one
responsibilities of this committee and to definitely improve how it's bringing the hammer down and work with people, but it's almost like keeping on edge, like, hey, like, you know, like, this is something that could be coming up.
And that's us that we deal with attendance and that kind of stuff.
Yes, so the operations would deal with attendance, would be in communication with Nathan, the secretary, to get that information as well as Sadie and Nathan for intern program. Yeah, and so for meeting every week, whether I'm there or not, I would really appreciate that we have our weekly meetings at a set time, set place, so everyone is aware of what will be going on. We have a designated area where we can get things done. We have a pretty consistent process. There will be a vice chair for this committee as well, and so their responsibility will not only to take attendance and take notes during the meeting, but also
We just don't know when.
Don't know when yet. That's going to depend on traditionally it's on a Monday.
Because like everybody is.
I don't know.
It won't be anything like a Friday night or Saturday afternoon.
It's for written comprehension. It originally started out as how research for institutions, and I realized that was way more involved. So then I scaled it back to why. I have another idea that I was just like trying to make absolutely have it also make sense.
Why haven't I like the flow chart you see in like.
Did you have a flow chart around the flow chart? No, you should work on that.
Improving communication not only within the legislative process but also amongst members. What exactly? Like something that you would want to like do with that?
Kind of touched on that a little bit. That's a really good question. Specifically with legislation, knowing where we're at, we're actually sending that out.
Are you sick?
Communicating with members in attendance. When it comes to election season, that's when we're communicating more with election-related things, and that will mean through my committee report, through the election commissioner, whoever that may be, things like that, making sure that it's not just people who need to know that higher ups have that information, but this entire
So like student engagement, they're like basically their Senate, they're communicating between students and Senate. Would you say that that's kind of like an external form of communication? Would you say that the Senate operations is kind of like an internal form of communication?
No, that's a really good way to phrase it. You guys have any other questions?
Everybody keeps saying that you guys just edit legislation. It's a lot more than that.
See, another reason I just feel better.
I remember.
Who? Was that expelled? You feel like this too.
When we were interns, do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
What's her name? I don't remember the name, but they didn't like got sworn in kind of late. He never came to the meeting. And then like sent off to reach out to him a lot, and then had to go back to I think the 60s paper records to find out the process of expelling.
Are they getting approximated? Has anyone ever been like? Has anyone ever been like?
Hey, come on up. Let's play again.
Yeah, come on, Jordan. You're so nice. Guarantee it's like guaranteed
There you go. I mean, okay, we already have it. Anyway,
really?
Let's
do it.
That side of the CSI topic.
Oh, you were me with Bob.
Yes, you bet.
I'm probably
I stalked you for like hours.
Yeah, we put earbuds.
I love high school. She's in her right now. Her all friends. That's not literally.
And we just kind of
I don't understand.
Can you go to track the people? Who wants to get?
I don't know. I don't think. Well, he didn't want it to be separate. So I think he just wanted like something. I know he did. I don't. So in your future,
Well, they just can't make it
Roots never served on an allocation.
like they don't know how to use
all
them.
pull from
Like clickers and top hats.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to do like a web thing next week on Top Hat. They want to use it, so I haven't looked at it. Is it bad?
It's just students don't understand. Yeah, you have to pay for subscription.
Well, you have to go through the roster first.
Yeah. So what she has to do is when we're taking quizzes on Top Hat,
And then you have to go to the college
and then have to turn it in. So I don't know if it's helping.
Was it just a quiz?
Yeah, on your phone.
I've never used it like a computer or anything else.
Well, she does attendance on it and then participate in questions.
But you
Could you just make a quiz in Canvas? That's what I've never.
I do my testing here.
Yeah.
Pretty a lot of stuff.
Like you could just make like a short quiz on Canvas as like whatever.
The handout kind of outline responsibilities. Because you can say as well as kind of vision.
That's I had one professor that did that, and it was literally a yes or no question, and that's what he did attendance. He was like, okay, you have a quiz, and he set a tasker on it. You only got the taskers that came to class. Yeah.
Overseeing legislation, helping edit legislation. I know a lot of times that's kind of the only thing that this committee, because that's what they were telling me, do a lot more to proper. And then also dealing with attendance, specifically regarding impeachment or social senators, and also helping fill this.
It's just kind of like the McGraw Hill thing, and like another thing. I just have never seen students. I've just never. It might be different for you guys. I've just never seen teachers that could be duplicated, and that's what. Yeah, I agree.
A couple of things that I really want to improve.
But like, it might be really cool from the professor side.
I know. It's more work. You have to create something somewhere else, and people don't like it. Like Connect takes a ton of work. Really, it is a ton of work. That's a ton of work. So we can all be accountable that legislation is sent out and sent to the correct individual, and that's something that we love for last year. And then also accountability regarding attendance and people who make and so kind of on the step communicating with everyone
communicating with them, hey, like, something going on with you, and if we need to make accommodations to get someone when you fill that position, because at the end of the day, we do need bodies to, like I said, continue.
I kind of agree with Jordan, like all the platforms.
I know it's kind of on once really quickly, but do you guys have any questions or anything regarding this committee? If you aren't familiar with editing or kind of English language and proper rules and things like that, or formatting legislation, definitely don't worry about that at all. Don't worry about that. I'm going to create kind of like now something really to be a resource for you guys that you'll be able to experience with editing legislation process. So that's keeping that back in mind.
See, I don't take my computer to class. Or if I do, I keep it right not hand than if you take notes on the computer.
I usually will take notes by hand. No questions at all?
I had to stop doing it because I wasn't learning anything, and then I had to relearn everything for the test.
Today? Yeah.
I had to stop. I had the pencils. Once I grade faster by hand, then I did it forever. It came like sucks. Because there's so many stupid bulges in it. So I got that pencil.
I would say the best thing that happened was I got my Spanish conversation over with, and that was terrifying. So,
No, it's okay. I'm there. Faculty.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Jack.
Jack.
My
Remember that? Remember that Wiley in that screen corner? That was her. Not her, not me. But I remember that lady? Yes. That's how I still don't have those people. No, but remember that lady? She never said you're dead at all. My entire I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I sat next to her. Better person.
Okay, that's what it's
Interact with like
All right, Jordan. Raise your right hand and
yeah.
repeat after me.
It was funny because I was trying to slide. You should have gotten up there.
He's gonna
See,
like, I need to learn.
and he like put 50 pounds on my like, so I was a physics major and my teacher was supportive.
Don't get to personalize.
I had Evans on the so it was at like 5:30 and I thought, okay, so I running and then I just oh, were you
What another one? We're averaging on everything.
There were like 3 people. I was like, I can't go work. I did. Well, no, we're really strong. Because we saw Brian, how do you?
Actually, I have a couple questions.
Brian and I decided we have to work on our working relationship. We just communicate in very different ways. We usually get to like yeah.
That's very subjective. My opinion. Hey Jordan,
You're supposed to leave them, right?
No, I already read them and like now it's
Let's go get a move on. I want to go get a nice food. Yeah, that is awesome. I do have a contact info for the bus people. Yeah.
First interview.
I was gonna send this.
Sign off on privileges. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. I think having been on the city.
Well, yeah, I mean, we actually didn't have to cheat. I would say. This is hard to So,
Knock that off my list.
I always tell people to
I need to order a
remind you, I understood. But then why'd you take it?
I bet they have time. Olivia got one last year and died, so we need to remember this is not what died.
And I'm just like, if I would have heard it being smell, but those two, the first two aren't helping.
Can't just slide by. No, it's harassment, not an active. Wait, no, you're alumni, so that means you're alumni now. I feel like that's hazing. That's hazing.
Oh, really?
It just got.
Honestly,
accounting one was fine.
big
I should have taken it at the same time as mine.
We have. I mean, ours is separate.
You can stay up to 2 extras.
I got excited. I should have interrupted.
Mason
I didn't know if you heard about that.
Yes, I saw trends.
So just wanted to throw that out. If anybody's looking.
Yeah.
I would be tempted for a good. If I was to fill your seat.
Hire me if I don't get a job.
We need to fill those soon. Sorry. I just thought you're in touch.
Really good at talking.
Probably, but I mean, it's less being on an island than being on a
roads on.
Well, good. I'll keep you posted.
Oh, no.
You said my name right. You say last name, but it was a joke. It's like kid. I was just
Check with everyone.
I don't get it.
I should have done that. I just never did.
That was my whole. That was my
I've heard that.
Are you gonna have her sit up? That's fine.
It's not funny in this room.
Oh, that's.
He's really good.
I did.
It's such like a test.
My semester, you also
I don't know what mine is. Probably talking about
Oh, that's good. I see, you must have been.
That's true.
And then I was kind of like,
When you want to make a point. That's all the
I
just want to take your hand. It's not.
He knows.
Also, our top employees to be legislative process, we're seeing that. That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
exactly. I don't know. Well, I don't
Like formatting, making sure all the records are important. As well as making sure you found out how to do it at the end.
So check that out.
Is that what?
And so then I got to offer this Cargill and
That's the thing, we don't have like a set night right now, it's gonna depend on the people who are appointed to the committee.
what parts I do like.
Monday night or Friday.
I don't
But
care.
it's just one business.
Because you're gonna do. Well, I don't know. Great. You guys have.
I'm moving
It's like edit, so like.
He's just like, I'll see you for yeah, because I want to see you.
So, like, I was thinking in my mind, so I probably glanced up, but I wasn't.
Yeah, if you have any concern about formatting or
See, that is what I think. Right, here's the thing, when I'm sarcastic, you don't acknowledge that it's sarcasm. You just get mad. But when I don't acknowledge your sarcasm, you get mad. Honestly, we all should. Oh my god, the days. Lacey.
Yeah. No, we don't need hair. That's stupid, Jordan. I'm like, we're fine.
It was either that or
Part two.
That's pretty much split between the two, so. Yeah, I'll need to present two groups.
Miranda, this is dope.
It's really not. It just
That's a lot. I made this page.
And it needs to fill their spot with another body. Who will be able to be in the.
And then like it has like
Scott just likes
me.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah, Bill, you remember when you're like, Scott will come in with all these amazing ideas.
He was just mean to us. He wasn't.
Okay.
Here are all the things that are wrong. Here's
We're like, okay.
So, what was the song?
The online orientation.
He was just aggressive.
And I'm like, don't tell me like. I was like, one, we've had this conversation for why it should be like a survey. Two, like, the lead about this are so you can afford it. And I showed up at test and saying that.
No.
What is too much? Oh, 2 years. Like, up to the website, and it's so much better.
I was looking at
But his main concern is the capacity. Which is valid, of course, that happens like up to 4,000.
Is that something you
Which is valid. But there are, like you said, there are ways we can engineer around that. And then his range.
Because like, that was not going on last year until like it was addressed once.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I think I have a like conversation about like what does it look like if you just duplicate the course for a
like usually comment.
Guns on campus.
Guns on campus, yes.
It's also possible.
Yeah, and he's just got.
We've gotten so down in process about that like a lot of the ideas that we load on the computer about like if you're in engineering, what that project experience looks like is so much different than what your experience in art is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that was something that we didn't do super well.
I like that engineering.
But that's a really great question. That's something that I would really like to do. I really would like Josh to have in his course a brief little
Oh, okay, so we normally have 5, but these are the finals.
I figured you would.
And then Christmas.
No, I wanted to clarify and double check.
That's great. You get like 40. I did them at home while I was on the someone was like,
I know that's only Josh, so I can double
So, do you keep track of them?
I'm from grade 1.
Yeah, taking this whole thing in stride.
We don't check. No one checks.
My boyfriend was
Yeah.
not.
So how do we know this?
No, he was not very
That's what they said.
That's what I was gonna say.
There's no like.
That also puts the right to what I want to.
You were great. It was so cute. You were like, I'm from. Pittsburgh, and I would say it's a medium-sized town. It's 20,000. It's totally medium-sized. No, it's like it's a cultural epicenter for the Southeast Kansas. Yeah, you said congrats, buddy, and I was like, crap. Sorry, that's what I say to everyone. Okay, and then they had closest exams my grade.
But I mean, if the speaker.
They're not bud. I call it sad for your future boyfriend. I call him bud. Buddy. Oh,
We talk about it.
But why can't we bud? Nope.
Because Hutch is like
up to
going
the
down the
feet.
hill that.
He's sorry. Not too many hours. But like this is literally a watermelon. Yeah. But it's also yeah. Like we have like industry, and God knows you can't do about this. And then I have like it was like that's great. Also, I learned
So
a
if you're
lot.
saying you're
Did you know global business started in 1966?
You could.
What the heck? But it was because automobiles offered
It's like
on
worse than great.
location.
You could.
Wow. I know. That's a whole
We as a committee. But we would also write the resolution that comes out.
But you won't like
Well, he's parliamentarian. He'll be an expert issue.
Can you come in to work with me?
No one ever talks about it.
I mean, you'll see.
Shut up, Jordan. You're already lying.
And you're
You guys have any other questions?
I feel like I'd be okay at teaching.
What? Yeah. To rearrange my timetable.
You guys
I just don't know what I would be. And I need like a schedule, and that'd be so like.
Yeah, you're free to go.
I would need one.
That is cool.
Hey Jake.
All the county councilors are like the same age as me, so I'm like, okay, cool.
Jake, you're so sharp.
Are you learning?
Hey, how are you guys? Congrats.
Every Monday. Yeah, this is really 2 hours. I need to work on a project.
No, I can do it. I mean, I have access to the calendar, so I know the tasks.
Hi guys,
But like right now,
my
it's
name is Sharpen, and I
Yeah, but I'm saying,
like technically.
She does that kind of stuff, like wait for
I work in the campus department, so that's
Kind of outline
I used to work in Fox Star too.
and go over those lines for you guys.
But I think SJ is a job.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking.
Pressing matter through. The other is overseeing the legislative process, which has to be overseeing the legislative process specifically with editing legislation. That is something that this committee has been associated with only that responsibility in the past, and while that is a big role that we serve for SGA, that's not 100% what we do. But it is important. If you don't have any experience with editing, formatting legislation, or just basic English grammar and
No, it's really not. It's there. I'm just like.
create some sort of resource, maybe an Google Doc, handout, the like, to get to committee members so that they can editing process. So you can do some of the other facilities that we have regarding attendance, yeah.
I'm sure he'll explain to whoever that you're in grad school, you don't have to be on that. Actually.
Expulsion, impeachment, things like that, and also filling the vacancies for seats that they don't have on on their own terms, or for example, we just score in all the present members tonight. It used to just be open, and we asked this committee to fill those vacancies. This was a big goal. So it's kind of a lot all at once. Do you guys have any questions or
Yes, sir.
concerns, comments?
I like the vacancies. Does that go by like who has the next most points for each year? Okay, and then do you just do all that?
For example,
Then give it enough time. If they respond like on a Thursday, we start to the next person. All the way down the list, then we'll contact the caucus. They'll have someone more coordinators, see if they have any interns that they like to appoint to the seat, and then if not, then we'll go to your backup. But usually,
Oh God, that causes
somebody.
that. Yeah, you have to like never show up. We still don't have any. Do you go to class every Thursday?
I missed
Yeah, I missed a couple days. And like literally, they're so busy.
You worked hard. Where is that? Like, so there's one for like the vet school, like
Yeah, there's two vet functions.
well, right now I was on social media, I was taking a mentor. I remember TFC.
Like we're trying to.
I'm a non-voting, it's in my email, right? It's okay. Right? How did you guys? I spoke on behalf of you, it's fine. And I told everyone my friends. I really just need to. What do you think of strengths, Bill? What's the other one?
Strengths guy.
You should read that.
I think it's good with like.
Oh, guess what? I do have something in the
But I don't want to.
Are you?
Hey Ryan, how's the preparation of these work?
I'm gonna call my
Well, I don't know what. Like, I don't think it needs
So
to.
I'll answer when we finish up.
Okay.
We're gonna do,
Take it in as
you guys will preference.
Okay, so this is the one about CSI.
And then like.
Got comments?
I will.
Remember, we amended it so that.
Working with the
websites
space.
would be called
We could talk, you gonna join that?
To go to on a different day, but if you want to.
Oh, right. Does it also have?
It was like really wrong.
So you had correct stuff, but they never changed it up. And Caitlin did it again.
Caitlin never updated it from when we amended. And then previously adopted. She never.
So somebody just went and sent it.
Well, I asked Tabasco was here too. I gave her a list of everything. That's why I did this time.
Yeah, so you can just get.
Okay, and then reprint it as
It was like.
It needs to be signed,
we weren't even
It needs to be signed, okay.
No, because I can tell you that I
In the corner, I just walked down.
At the bottom, but
Guys,
still
there's
was
like,
amended the following section. Haven't signed that.
And I still have them sign a contract because I have to always sign it. And I decided Debbie would be. It's like 6 different finance organizations.
Next year. Administration there because yeah, because it's probably time to
I got it.
He said, talk to Lee about it?
But my dad said,
yeah, I can call FedEx.
That's kind of the whole point.
only in my country.
Sounds so nice, they named it twice. That's good stuff. Great day to study agriculture. And he's such a great.
Okay, so he has you think about how much
Okay, not but I'm the exact same way.
Didn't he invite you on that date? You and me as yeah, no kidding. That would be awesome. And Boggs, like, especially if he's
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's so
oh yeah, Ag Council. Let's go.
Especially if there's
I really want that. I want to study abroad. Okay,
so I'm
I don't really know what I want.
So we get 2 things.
Two things that take a lot of your life. Which is just one or the other. Say, I really gotta say, it's me or my choice. Yeah, I mean, he's just wrapping up. No,
I guess that's how they do it. It's a regular
If you pay attention to what happens
Oh yeah, I'm on that shit. I'm on that club. I can see you.
I'm only 2 now.
Guess what? I'm it's always good. It's good. I feel that. Better than last time. Still terrible, but like, don't wait. What was that? Oh shit. Yeah, what is brown? Yeah, my conversations don't be very but I don't know this part. He's already engaged. Yeah. It's fine. Okay. I didn't say. I really love it, and that's
It's password protected. I was gonna Google something like.
All right, everybody. If everybody could have a seat, we'll go ahead and finish, hopefully in an efficient manner. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed the committee rotation. I got a lot of questions about how do we preference a committee and things like that. So just so you all know, by tomorrow night, I will send out a form that asks for your top 3 preferences in order of 1, 2, 3. And then hopefully sometime in the next couple weeks, I'll work with the chairs of the committees to appoint people on each committee. So that's kind of how that will work. So with that, we will move on to director's reports. Student Body President Keel.
Okay, I just have a couple of reminders, announcements before we all leave, since this is our last Senate, before the summer, I guess. So first thing, TFSC, just kind of an update on that. So engineering, architecture, and human ecology, there are 2 fees within human ecology, are all being put forward to the president to approve, take to the Board of Regents, and go through that process. So human ecology, there are 2 department fees. So that's a conversation we'll be having in the future with TFSC before we get new fees next year about whether or not K-State wants to go down the path of departmental fees. In the last year or so, we've started going down and starting conversations about differential tuition, which basically looks at, instead of having specific fees, you would just pay one tuition rate for your college, and what that looks like for students, trying to be transparent about how much you're paying for school instead of saying you have a tuition rate and then also adding on all these fees. So we'll just start having that conversation within TFSC. If you're interested, go ahead and send me an email now so we can get keyed into some of those conversations, because we'll probably start over the summer and early in fall so we can get that process set up before we start TFSC again. We did also open another application for a communications director position. This is something that we've talked about for the last couple of years within SGA, but have never really jumped the gun and actually opened up an application for it and started that position. So if you're at all interested, please do apply and send it to whoever you think might be good at it. Right now we have that deadline as this Friday, but we're looking to possibly extending that potentially another week to hopefully gain more applicants. That was something that we hope that they'll be able to kind of manage all of SGA instead of just having a PR director in the executive branch that's trying to do all these different moving parts. So there's that. Third thing, we have a committee that's starting. It's called the University Classroom Planning Committee. If you're familiar with last year, there was a fee for the academic infrastructure. That's what the fee's called, and basically charged every student on campus. Part of it goes to pay the business building. The other part goes into this fee to improve classrooms. So there are classrooms already on campus that just need updating, renovating, whether that be technology, furniture, new paint, and things like that. And so that committee will be looking at what classrooms we want to evaluate and prioritize on that list, because we do have a limited amount of money each year that we can put towards that. So I'm looking for 5 people who will be here this summer that can serve on that committee. If you guys could text me tonight, because we need to get that set up, or if you want to raise your hand now, I can have someone write it down. Okay, Nathan King. Will you write that down, Ryan? Thanks. Anyone else? It's gonna be a really cool committee. Marcus Kidd, okay, sweet. Look, Marcus is on it. You know it's gonna be fun now. He'll bring all the jokes. If you want to think about it tonight and let me know, that'd be great. We have a couple other people lined up, but it'll be really good, and then that'll go to TFSC to also approve those priorities. Another committee that we were trying to start is about student messaging. Sorry, I know these are just a lot of really long kind of drawn out announcements, but they are important, and that's something, student messaging, looking at the website, how we interact with students across all of our different platforms, whether that be social media, Canvas, Connect, if you ever use that. So really looking at all these different platforms that we have and how we can best utilize that to get information out to students, both important dates and just general knowledge about the student body. So another thing, please reach out to me if you're interested. And then I think that was my last thing. So any questions?
Any questions for Student Body President Keel? Senator Spellman.
So I just want to kind of clarify. You said if we were interested in TFSC, go ahead and send you an email then?
Yeah, if you want to be a part of the conversations for not necessarily TFSC, looking at the fees in the fall, that'll be a separate application interest form, but looking at what we want to do with departmental fees and how we want to handle that process.
Further questions? Senator Brown.
Is the student messaging committee that you just talked about, is that related to the communication position at all, or?
Nope. So they're just two separate things. Communications director will be kind of doing the communication for SGA. Student messaging will be looking university-wide, how we message with students. So it might filter into some of the things that the communication director does, but really looking at a university level, how we're communicating. Any other questions?
Further questions for Student Body President Keel? Seeing none, are there any other director's reports? Are you in? Okay. So we'll move on with the agenda to college caucus time. So as I kind of talked about, now we're going to get within our caucuses really briefly and efficiently and nominate individuals that we would like to be our caucus leaders and then eventually vote. So grad students, downstairs, right there. Human ecology, if you want to meet in the north side of the CSI conference room. Arts and sciences, south side of CSI conference room. Engineering can meet right back here in Wildcat Chamber. Any other caucuses? And if I missed your caucus, business can meet right outside by Redinas. So. And ag can be in the back in the viewing area. So.
Please return to your seats after you vote so we can get back to the regular meeting.
There's only 9 of us here. No, wait.
How many cabins do you want? 2. How many cabins?
16.
For me,
Count
I
them.
also look at the right to the energy committee or so basically the meetings here,
Last year, it was a little bit more because I had some initiatives to try and talk to students about key issues. I'm not entirely sure if that's easy this year. I'm guessing similar. I don't know if that's established yet. We work a lot with the state program, try and push some really important things for the students at college specifically. anytime we meet, we go through people kind of yeah, I was like, it's just biggest
Yeah, so they look on paper, they look not only did we that
somewhat united front, so you kind of discuss what's going on. I'm pretty sure there's going to be another $15 fee increase.
That, but also so we cabinets, I guess. That, but they'll have to
yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I was like,
that the GSCSG.
and one thing that's like, each semester, planning meeting, so
I'm giving up one is behind the scenes, one is beyond that. So, I mean, I would like to self-nominate myself for but would anyone else like to nominate someone? So kind of what that looks like. What that looks like is my understanding. Like last year, we had this year. I never go because they were supposed to one so I would normally I would try to like finesse it. I mean, just depends, like, sometimes, like, if it's there's no way. I mean, there's nothing in myself. So I would say, I then ask the caucus if anyone off the street. I still submit the report to the majority of the meetings that we had in the fall semester, they were just like big things like we stopped we have one person that gets that sometimes.
She's just about to play.
I would now entertain a motion.
Mainly so that we can have like.
I don't know. Are there any all in favor, please say aye.
But essentially it's me, it's like they didn't have a lot to say.
Oh, cool. Then great.
I'm really excited to they can have that.
Tel's very busy.
It's like the state of Vermont.
I won't be done until
Okay, so
We're like the state of Vermont.
First thing that I would ask. So you have an Excel sheet. Right, but it's the one, the last one is on there too. So after what I'd like to do is just download it.
Well, so they
lose it on someone's laptop. That's what happened. And I feel like, and then what I can do is I go look at it.
chat right now.
They'll go out and find that file.
His work's on. He's like a
I know.
Bible.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, they don't need to leave until
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm working on a lot. Other things.
It's like a very informal process.
Yeah.
I really think me and I have to.
Me?
No.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. So I can go back to so there was who voted for it. What are people's absences?
Thinking about working for a student press. I think we have a lot of connected to seeing other fields that we're going to achieve because we were
So my undergrad psychology, master's,
last year it was like
doctorate.
directly impacted
Going for 3. My mom's or she specifically works in food.
well, congratulations.
So we're just gonna
Right? I know. I can't wait to walk with
The poster child for the city.
Are you free? Would you like to come?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Not so much the legislature.
Yes. Really 23, 24.
I showed Shelby the other day.
Yeah.
Oh. You said 30.
I think he can sponsor me. Let me double check.
Today.
Okay. Already got proven. Thought it was 10. Like, about
Look into it.
all legislation was
You guys, so are you in your second year? You are?
And that's, I mean, so it's hands, but, we requested.
Huh?
But they,
All right, senators, if we can go ahead and have a seat, we can go ahead and finish our agenda items for the evening. So first, I want to announce and congratulate our college caucus leaders for this next term. In Arts and Sciences, co-chairs Saiba Grover and Katie Sullivan. Maybe save the claps for the end. Business is going to be Hannah Heatherman. Engineering, Ali Karamali. Human Ecology, Anna Spencer. Grad students, Marcus Kidd. Ag, Jake Wessel. Education, Tel Whitmore. And Architecture, the one and only Anna Belk. So now we'll move on to introduction of legislation where we just have one bill. So now I will entertain a motion to consider Bill 6. Senator Bothwell.
I move Bill 6.
It's moved in second that we consider Bill 6. Will the author please come forward?
Okay, sorry everyone. Last time I will be up here tonight. Bill 18-1906, amendments to the Kansas State University Student Governing Association bylaws concerning the executive branch cabinet by Lacey Pitts, Jansen Penny, Jordan Keel, and Sarah Newdery. Whereas the Privilege Fee Committee will no longer review K-State Athletics privilege fee following the termination in the K-State Athletics privilege fee agreement and the creation of the Student Athletics ticket agreement. Whereas the athletic director shall be added to the KSU SGA bylaws, and whereas to ensure that student athletics ticket agreement is executed and reviewed properly, the athletics liaison shall be responsible for the review of the student athletics ticket agreement. Be it enacted that Section 1, Article 3, Section 3 of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association KSU SGA bylaws shall be added as follows. K, the athletics liaison who shall represent KSU SGA with regards to K-State athletics as they affect students. 1, shall be responsible for the review of the student athletics ticket agreement by SGA leaders as outlined in the ticket agreement. 2, chair the athletics advisory committee consisting of at a minimum 2 student athletes, 1 faculty member, and a representative from K-State athletics. L, such other appointed officers as determined by the student body president. Section 2, this bill shall take effect upon passage of the student senate and signature of the student body president.
Any questions for student body president Keel?
I have a fix. On line 21,
Corrections.
I think it should be amended as follows.
Yeah. Oh, wait, added, I think.
Well, because we're also striking something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Are there any more corrections or questions?
Line 12, can we change director to liaison?
Yes. All right, seeing none. Now we will move into second open period. Are there any speakers for second open period? Yeah. Senator Adams.
Okay, so we have our CrossFit challenge on Saturday. Got a little bigger than we anticipated, so we could use volunteers. So if anybody in a sorority, fraternity, club, whatever needs hours, we would take them. So 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock on Saturday, out in the quad. If you want to email me, it's Rebecca3@ksc.edu.
Any questions for Senator Adams? Seeing none, are there any more open period speakers? Senator Sultan.
Hey guys, if anybody's free this Sunday, the Young Dems are putting on a forum debate between the Democratic candidates for governor at Forum Hall at 12:30. It's going to be really cool, great way to get young people's voices heard in the circle. Okay, yeah, be there.
All right, any questions for caucus leader Sullivan? Seeing none, further open period speakers? Senator Cole.
So Little Apple Pride, the people that do all the fun pride stuff, they're having a committee planning meeting on the 6th. So I know that's the beginning of finals week too. So if you can't go, that's okay. But basically we're trying to get it so Saga isn't planning the entirety of Little Apple Pride and we have more community and student support. If you can do it, it's from 4 to 5 in the Flint Hills Discovery Center. May 6th.
Questions for Senator Cole? Seeing none, are there any more open period speakers? If not, I have a couple announcements I'd like to share from Stephen Kutra. Sorry, he sent me an email. Okay, Grad-5K is this Saturday. Yeah, I know, right? Is this Saturday. It starts at 7 a.m. Looks like the registration is $10 and the race is at 8 a.m. Organized by the Graduate Student Council. Last thing, Take Back Our Lives rally and march is on Monday, April 30th at 6 p.m. on Bosco Plaza. The march will start at 7 p.m. and the block party will start at 8 p.m. So, with that, what's on the any further open period speakers? If not, we will move into roll call.
Adams.
Here.
Albers. Armstrong. Belk. Bergston. Bolar. Bothwell. Bowen. Brown. Carpenter. Cole. Cole Gleiser. Cruz. Davis. DeMoranville. Dunfield. Filbert. Gammon. Grover. Hammond. Harp. Heatherman. Hildreth. Hopfinger. Huffman. Jabin. Carmali. Kidd. King. Kodira. Kulkarni. Leverett. Mari. Martin. Morgan. Neatery. Orth. Orzakowski. Pelton. Penny. Porter. Riffle. Roman. Smith. Spellman. Spencer. Sullivan. Tile. Thomas. Chumland. Tuttle. Valdez. Wessel. Wilhelm. Whitmer. Yoganandan.
Should we? No. Okay, last thing. Treasurer Martin, if you could come to the front of the room and get sworn in. As he's coming down. All right, sir. If you could raise your right hands, and after I say the statement, you can say, I will. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of treasurer and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
Awesome. Name, hometown major, favorite smell.
All right, I'm Jordan Martin. I'm from Spring Hill, Kansas. I'm majoring in computer science and mathematics, and my favorite smell hasn't changed since last week. It is freshly baked snickerdoodles.
Awesome. Now I'll seek a motion to adjourn. Senator Heatherman.
I move to adjourn this meeting until Thursday, August 30th. Same time, same place.
Second? It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, we're adjourned.
Okay.